Hi, today in this short video, I'm going to show you a pretty good strategy that I recently found and now use, among other things, for opening 1-minute trades. I will use only 4 indicators. I'll start by adding these indicators. The first indicator I'll be using today is called ADX. I add it to the chart, then go to the settings and change the first parameter to 12 and the second parameter from 14 to 12 as well. After that, I go to the Styles tab, and here I leave only the upper line of the ADX indicator and turn off the other 2 lines. Then I click on the Save button, and this is how this indicator now looks to me. The next indicator I need today is the momentum indicator. I also add it to the chart, then go to the settings, and here I increase the period to 14. I don't change anything in the style and just close the settings window of this indicator, after which I add the third indicator called SAR. I also go to its settings, and here in the first parameter I use the value 0.02, and in the second parameter I use the value 0.2. Then I move on to styles, and here I change the color of this indicator and make it a little thicker just so that it is more noticeable to me and easier to work with. But most importantly, I left all the indicator settings standard. Then I click the Save button, and the last indicator I need today is the moving average. I add it to the chart, go to settings, and here I set the moving average type to EMA and increase the period to 50. Then I also go to Style and change the color of this line so that it's convenient for me to work with. Well, now I'll color it white and make it a bit thicker. After setting up my entire workspace, I now need to set up the chart itself. Since I will be opening 1-minute trades, it's important for me to set up the chart itself in such a way that all indicators show me signals for entering 1-minute trades. So, what do? I open the chart settings, and today I will use the candlestick chart type, and I set the candle time frame to 15 seconds. Also, I immediately set 1 minute here for opening trades, and today I will be opening trades for an amount of $300. Basically, with this, I've completed the setup of my workspace, and now I can proceed to explain the strategy. But before that, friends, I remind you that through the link in the pinned comment, I left this platform here on which I work. On this platform, after quick registration, a completely free demo account is available where you can test this and any other strategy for free without any investment. Now I will move on to explaining the strategy and immediately find a suitable market situation to enter a trade. I'm entering my first trade today, and it will be a down trade for $300. So, how do I open trades? When I switch between charts, I look at the ADX indicator, and in order to enter trades, I need this indicator to show a value greater than 25. Right now, this condition is met on the chart, so I looked at where the price movement is heading. I determined this using the moving average and the SAR indicator. If the price is currently below the moving average, I understand that in the medium term we are in a downtrend. Then I look at the SAR indicator, and to confirm this signal, I need the SAR indicator dots to appear above the chart. Currently, the dots are also appearing above the chart, and I understand that in the short term, the price is also in a downtrend. After that, I look at the momentum indicator, and according to it, I get the final confirmation before entering a trade. To enter a down trade, I need at least 4 bars to be red. And this condition was met, so my trade was opened. And now this trade is closing with a profit. It was a bit nerve-wracking, so now I'll try to find another situation where I could enter a down trade and show once again how I enter these trades. So here's another moment I found for entering a down trade. So briefly again about the indicators, what I see on the ADX indicator. The value is more than 25. And since the value is more than 25, I can open trades on this chart. Then, by the moving average indicator and the SAR indicator, I see that the price is currently going down and we are in a downward trend. After that, I received the final confirmation from the momentum indicator as I saw at least 4 red bars, after which I entered into a down trade. This is how I apply signals for a down trade using this strategy. With this strategy, I can quickly determine whether I can enter a trade now. Because essentially, when choosing a chart, I rely on the ADX indicator, after which I quickly determine the direction of the price movement, and then I check if there is confirmation from the momentum indicator. And after that, I begin to open trades, and I can work on absolutely any chart with this strategy. So, my trade is closing with a profit, and now I will try to find a situation where I could enter an up trade to explain how the strategy works when opening up trades. Okay, so I found a good opportunity, and I'm entering my third trade here, but this time an up trade. So, how am I working with the indicators here? First, I look at the ADX indicator in exactly the same way, and the logic here is exactly the same. Since the ADX indicator shows the strength of the current movement, regardless of its direction, for me to enter a trade, I need the ADX indicator to show a value above 25. And if this condition is met, then I look at where the price is heading. And right now, according to two indicators, namely the moving average and the SAR indicator, I see that the price is going up, the price movement is upwards. Therefore, after I received confirmation from the momentum indicator, I entered an up trade. Accordingly, the confirmation here is exactly the same. I need to see at least 4 bars, but in green. And if all these conditions are met, I immediately open a trade, but already an up trade. There are only a few seconds left until the trade closes. The price has grown quite well, so I simply take this trade in profit. That's the strategy. I hope you found it interesting and useful. If so, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. That's the best way to thank me. And also, I remind you that on my channel, I only show my personal experience. I do not give financial advice. With that, I will say goodbye to you. I wish you good luck.